Welcome to my oral presentation for the Position and Practice module. My name is Elen Hes, and I would like to introduce my photography practice, my intentions, and future plans. I am from Czech Republic, but my practice started in England in 2008 when I began the self-expression journey as a photo model. I always did my own makeup, costumes, and edits, which took me far beyond the common modeling practice. However, I wanted to grow as an artist in all means, creating the scene and atmosphere with the full intention from the very first draft to the final retouch. So in time, cooperating with others became almost impossible, because you always have to rely on them and their part of work, and I needed to stick precisely with my intentions. And the more you create your own truth and vision, then farther you go from the understanding and plans of others. And so I have decided to take over both sides of the camera, creating my first selfie shots, very often with the precious help of my husband. That's when my first really critical research came into place, and I asked myself a question. Why did this photograph involve this particular edit, feeling, or meaning? So I got back to the original source of my motivation and explored what brought me to photography in the first place. My inner world, which photography just reflects, was influenced by the book called The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. His story helped me as an 11-year-old child to hold onto something when the real world was crashing around me. In his books, I found my reality, feeling of belonging somewhere, and also so important courage to face my everyday life. He taught me that not all those who wander are lost. And this has been following me through my life ever since. Whether you reflect on Middle-earth or my real life, there is one thing both worlds have in common: nature. When I reflect on my previous work, I see that pictures related to nature and its spirits have the strongest meaning for me. So I started visiting places which remind me of Middle-earth. The narrative was simple: to capture the connection between the real and inner world, and to bring back the magic. As you can see, I use Photoshop a lot to create the atmosphere I want. Looking back onto my previous practice, I realized I was mainly working towards some particular and current feeling, emotion, or thought I had in mind, and I had to create it to see the full artwork in real life. Now, over many hundreds images, that intensive feeling of need has smoothened. Surprisingly, it didn't leave emptiness or lack of motivation, but the opposite. It calmed my mind and soul, so now I can think about wider narrative and more sustainable practice. And I realized there is one way to go, which I have known about for so long, but never truly explored it enough: paganism. The roots of our own traditions here in Czech Republic, so similar to Greek and even Northern deities and their sacred meaning. So I've started this journey of exploring my own attitude towards paganism and its practices. The first sign I have to acknowledge is the healing power of plants and nature itself. In the future, I want to develop further understanding of the connection and lifestyle of witches and the druids. The power of sacred symbols and rituals is fascinating, and it will be a great challenge for me to capture it as an experience and exploration through photography practice. In my future research, I intend to go back in steps of our ancestors and find their old ways of celebrating, healing, using specific artifacts and nature wisdom, often referred to as witchcraft. To understand our Asian and medieval stories and culture, inevitably you have to come across our main gods and goddesses. Morana is one of the most well-known goddesses in our culture. She was supposed to be a beautiful virgin in a white veil. Creating a puppet of Morana and throwing it into a river is a festival of spring and a symbol of the end of a winter rule. Interestingly, this custom has survived to this day despite several thousand years of repression of pagan rituals. Furthermore, Morana was considered the mother and creator of various demons and diseases. So I also created a second version of this goddess in order to keep them equally acknowledged. And because both meanings rise from the fact that she is the goddess of winter, I made sure to include this symbol in each photograph. On the first one, you could notice the white crown made of icicles, more gentle and soft to suit the idea of a beautiful young woman, while here I took in her destructive powers. This massive icicle is real, just as the crown, and is used to perform her most important attributes as a dark goddess, winter and death. Vesna is sister of Morana. She drives away her dark powers and brings a revival of the nature after a long winter. She is depicted in statues and paintings as a young and beautiful woman. Information about it has been preserved only in our extremities and cannot be claimed as true. I intend to explore this further. Next I try to capture is Artemis, the goddess of hunting. Although known as the best hunter, she loves animals above all and will seek vengeance upon those who were seen to do harm to an animal. As I love and protect animals myself, I can truly relate to this goddess. In my future work, I plan to go deeper into pagan deities, goddesses, and mythology. I want to learn symbols and especially the connection within elements. I love fire deeply, and I'm keen to learn pagan rituals connected to its magic. Thank you for your attention.